Claude Cowork has 10x'd my output as an operator. And I'm not exaggerating. The secret is skills. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 of them that I run every single day. Each one replacing something that used to take me anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours. I'm going to demo every single one live on screen. Let's go. Before we get into the skills, real quick, if you haven't installed Claude Desktop yet, here's how to do it. Head over to claude.com/download, choose your operating system, download the file, and install it. Once installed, you can run the app and it'll look something like this. To get into Claude Cowork, go to the top of the window and you'll find 3 options: Chat, Cowork, and Code. For this tutorial, we are going to be using Cowork, so click there. This is what Claude Cowork will look like for you. Now, one last thing. What actually is a skill? Essentially, a skill is just a file. It's a set of instructions that you install into Claude once that tells it exactly how to behave for a specific task, what to look for, how to format, what files to create, what trigger, what tools to use. So anytime you want to do a specific task, you just call that skill. No re-explaining yourself and no starting from scratch. Think of it like a specialist you've trained once who remembers everything. Alright, so the first skill is inbox triage. And I want to be specific about what problem this actually solves, because it's not just email volume, it's decision fatigue. Every time you open your inbox, you're making micro decisions. Is this urgent? Can this wait? Who needs a reply? And by the time you've processed all of your emails, you've used up mental energy you needed for actual work. To set this up, let's go into Claude, click on Customize, click on Connectors, and make sure that your Gmail is connected. Next, we're going to grab the inbox triage skill from the school community, download it, come back into Claude, go to Skills, press the plus icon, click Upload a Skill, and choose the file. We now have the inbox triage skill. Now in Cowork, I'm going to go to New Task, and I'm just going to say Triage my inbox. It found the skill, it's loading the tools, it's getting emails, and my emails are sorted into 4 buckets: Act Now, Respond Soon, FYI, and Ignore. It also gives me top 3 email actions for today. This used to take me 20 to 30 minutes every morning. Now it's 1 command. And the best part is that I can schedule this to run automatically, so that this report is ready for me as soon as I open my computer at my desk. Now for skill number 2, and this one directly hits billable time. If you run any kind of service business, agency, consulting, freelance, you're writing client reports, progress updates, weekly summaries, end of month recaps, and every time it's the same thing. You've got a pile of notes, some metrics, a few bullet points, and you spend an hour turning it into something professional enough to actually send. This skill takes that pile and turns it into a fully designed, client-ready HTML report. Let's grab the skill, install it, come back into Claude, and paste in some rough notes. And we're going to tell it to generate a client report. Claude Code automatically understands that the skill needs to run, and in just a few seconds, I have my report ready. So the Claude skill took those raw notes and turned it into a professionally formatted report that an agency would be proud to send to their client, complete with an executive summary, work completed, results and metrics, and next steps. What would have taken you a couple of hours just got completed in a few minutes. That is the beauty of skills. It's not just a chat response, it is a full deliverable. Now skill number 3, and this one is probably the highest leverage one if you're selling services. Writing proposals is one of the most time-consuming pre-revenue tasks in any business. You've had the discovery call, you know what the client needs, and then you have to spend 2 hours writing it all up before you've made a single dollar. This skill takes an email thread or a meeting transcript and turns it into a professional proposal that you can send over. We're back in Claude. Let's upload the skill, and there it is. Now I'm going to paste in the transcript of a meeting and tell it to generate a proposal. So it's extracted the basic details from the conversation, and because there's some information missing, it's just asking some follow-up questions. Let's answer the 2 questions and wait for it to generate that whole proposal. The beauty of this skill is that it doesn't make the commercial decisions for you. It asks you the key questions, and based on your answers, it goes ahead and delivers a ready, formatted, and professional document, complete with an executive summary, a problem statement, a recommended approach, complete with phases, why us, deliverables, investment, and next steps. The whole thing took less than a minute. Now the next skill is really powerful because it takes one of the most time-consuming tasks for any business owner and condenses it into just a few minutes. The daily content brief. What's moving in your space and 3 angles for you to create your own content every single morning. As a business owner or a professional, you have to create content to be able to establish your presence online. And to be able to create good content, you have to stay on top of what's happening in your space. And that is a full-time job on its own. Even if you don't create your own content, this is an excellent competitive intelligence brief. What are your competitors doing? What are your clients talking about? And what topics are getting traction right now? To set this skill up, you're going to need to customize these fields. Currently, they're mapped to mine, but you're going to put your own creator name, your own niche, your own audience, your own content pillars, and some X accounts and YouTube channels in your niche that tend to surface breaking news and up-to-date content. Come back into Claude and load that skill. Now, while we're in the Customize panel, for this skill to work, we are going to need to hook up one connector. So go to Connectors, click on Browse Connectors, and search for Appify MCP Server. Install the skill, make sure it's enabled, and in order to configure it, you're going to need to grab your Appify API key. Head over to appify.com, sign up for a free account, and once you're logged in, go down to Settings, API and Integrations, and copy your personal API token. The free account gives you $5 of usage every month, which should be more than enough for your basic content scraping. And if you're not familiar with Appify, Appify is a directory of web scrapers. Essentially, small pieces of software that access specific websites and get you structured data from those sites, whether it's social media, yellow pages, online directories, travel websites, the list goes on and on. So the API key allows Claude to directly access Appify and get the data for you without you having to fiddle around with any of this manually. Once all of that is set up, let's come back into Claude Cowork and tell it to get me my daily content brief. It found the skill, connected to Appify, and here's my content report ready to go, complete with key themes, important tweets from key players along with the post and why it matters, YouTube videos, LinkedIn drafts ready to go that I can just copy and paste, 3 YouTube video concepts, and a ready newsletter draft that I can send to my email list. I've got this scheduled to run every morning. As soon as I reach my computer, I have a digest of all the trending content in my niche and some drafts ready for me to review and post to my accounts. This way, every piece of content that I put out is tied to something that's actually in motion, not just whatever I felt like talking about that day. And of course, this skill is in the community with the rest of them. Last but not least, the brain dump visualizer. And this is the one that people react to most when I show them. Every operator that I've ever worked with has had the same problem. There's always a backlog of half-formed thoughts, things you need to do, ideas you haven't acted on, questions you haven't answered. It lives in notes apps, voice memos, random docs, or just in your head. And processing that backlog can be exhausting. Not because the tasks are hard, but because organizing them is hard. So this skill takes a raw brain dump, a stream of consciousness, bullet points, whatever you've got, and turns it into a structured, interactive visual board. Now that we've uploaded the skill, I've pasted in a brain dump, and I'm just going to type in brain dump and hit enter. It found the brain dump visualizer skill, and look at this. Everything is sorted automatically. Tasks, ideas, questions, references, each in their own category. Color-coded, priority scored. I can sort by swim lanes or by category. And here up at the top, and this is the part that's the most important, the 3 highest priority tasks surfaced front and center. So even if you don't scroll through the whole board, you know exactly what to do next. You can filter by category, tasks, ideas, questions. So the before was 30 lines of noise, and the after is a board that you can actually work from. A quick recap of the 5 skills. Inbox triage, emails sorted by urgency, top 3 actions ready to go. No more starting your day figuring out where to start. A client report generator, paste in raw notes, and get a polished, client-ready HTML report. 2 hours of formatting condensed into 45 seconds. A proposal generator, put in a discovery call transcript, and get a scoped proposal out. A daily content brief, what's moving in your space, 3 content angles every morning. And finally, a brain dump visualizer. Everything in your head turned into a structured visual board with priorities surfaced automatically. So what do all of these have in common? They don't replace your judgment, you still make the decisions. But all the formatting, structuring, organizing that happens before the decision, that's now handled. That's the difference between Claude Cowork as a chat tool and Claude as a system. Same tool and completely different leverage.